So, what do you do when past emotional pain still hurts? In this show, I'm going to share 4 tips on how you can begin to heal emotional pain of your past. When you've been through something and it still hurts, when you've been through something that had an impact on you, maybe years ago it had an impact on you, it comes up, but you still feel that emotional pain. It's like that emotional pain that stays with you. It lives with you, right? It grows with you. It's past pain. People say time heals all pain, but really what happens is time makes that pain older and it makes it last and it stays with you. And oftentimes when emotional pain is felt, some people, they choose to ignore it. They don't want to face it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to address that emotional pain. They don't really want to think about it. And so they suppress it. They push it down, and they do other things. They work hard, or they get busy with life. They get busy with things. And oftentimes the busyness of that, it doesn't make the pain go away. You just kind of forget about it, but it's still there. It's suppressed. We often think, okay, it'll get better, but then something happens that trigger it. Something happens that make you remember that pain. Something happens that bring it back up. You got to deal with it because it's there. Or what are you going to do? Are you going to run from it again? Are you going to hide it? Are you going to suppress it? Are you going to ignore it? Whenever you're dealing with this, I want you to understand that emotional pain that you're dealing with is actually seeking your attention. And the more you try to avoid it, ignore it, the more it's going to keep popping up. Things will keep triggering it. And eventually you'll have to do something to deal with it. First of all, if you're dealing with some emotional pain, I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know that there are a lot of people dealing with emotional pain and living day to day and really working through it. And I want you to know that that pain is seeking your attention. And the more you try to ignore it, the more it's going to seek your attention. And it's so important that you understand that you can love that pain away. Now think about it, because oftentimes you want to avoid it, you don't want to address it, but the fact that you can love it away. And you like, what? Love it? Why would I want to love something that hurt me? They hurt me. They did this to me. They did that to me. I'm hurting. I'm feeling the effects of what happened to me. Why? How can I love something that's so painful? And listen, I want you to know that the part of you, your inner being that's feeling that pain, is needing your attention, is looking and seeking your attention. And so I'm going to give you 4 tips today to help you to heal some of that emotional pain you're dealing with. And so the first thing I want to share with you today, you can begin to tell a different story. You can begin to change your story. And when I say you have the power to do that, see, the story you've been telling yourself all this time is a story that has reinforced the pain. It's a story that constantly remembers the pain. And you remember what happened. You remember what they did. You remember what they said. You remember how it felt. You remember what you looked like, what you heard, what you seen, right? And so as you remember those things, you have told this story over and over again to yourself. Some of you have told it to others. And I want you to know that you have the power to change your story. You have the power to tell a new story. You have the power to say, yes, I went through that, but it wasn't my fault, but it made me stronger, but it made me wiser, but I'm grateful for who I am today because of it. But it didn't kill me. I'm here. It didn't destroy me. I'm still growing. I'm still evolving. I'm still elevating in my life. And so you can begin to just be intentional about changing that story from feeling as a victim to feeling as a victor, someone who is victorious in your life in every area of your life. So let's address the second tip. You want to eliminate the victim mentality. What is the victim mentality? The victim mentality is feeling like you are a victim, feeling like, someone else did you wrong. And here's the thing, they probably did. We're not saying that it didn't happen, but we're saying we're not going to allow what happened to have you anymore. We're saying that no longer being a victim, no longer allowing yourself to be a victim, because you can be victorious over that situation. You can overcome that situation, change your entire story to be one of courage and faith and hope and growth and love and joy and peace. And I just want to encourage you to do that. And no matter what happened, what conditions look like, or what's going on around you, you can make a decision to overcome those situations by not allowing them to overcome you. You're not going to allow those conditions to hold you over. You're not going to allow those conditions to keep you in a place that you're just not happy at. You're going to choose to be happy, right? Choose to be happy. So we on number 3 tip. So number 1 was you can decide to change your story, create a new story. Number 2, eliminate the victim mindset. Number 3, your problems are not permanent. So what happens is the pain of your past, for some reason in our minds, we tell ourselves that we're still experiencing that pain, even though it's in the past. Doesn't have to have a permanent place in your life. It does not have to be permanent in your life. That was a temporary situation that has passed by. See it as a temporary situation. Don't identify yourself with that situation. Don't allow that situation to dictate and control how you feel right now, how you feel today, how you feel tomorrow, and how you feel going forward. You can make the decision that, yeah, that happened and that was painful to me, but now that I'm aware, now that I know that, now that I'm growing, I have more wisdom, I'm choosing to address that situation in a healthier way. I'm choosing to look at that situation as temporary, something that happened and is now no longer exists. It's gone. It's not real. It's not here, right? So you look at that situation for what it is in the past. You're not in the past. You are in this now present moment, and you are victorious in your life right now. So embrace where you are now. Yes, they hurt you. Yes, they did you wrong. We're not denying what has happened. You probably went through some hurt and some pain, and you was done wrong. But where are you now? You are in a new place. That pain it does not have to have control over you. Yes, you are not your past. Here's the final tip for this message. And I love this tip because this is how we begin to grow from the pain. And so this final tip is you want to accept responsibility. You may be thinking like, Rainy, why? Why would I accept responsibility? I wasn't responsible for what happened to me. I didn't do that. To me, it's not my fault. It may have been somebody else's fault. What they did was probably wrong, yeah, and it probably is not your fault. But guess what? It's your responsibility to heal. It's your responsibility to say, I am not going to allow myself to dwell in this pain. I am going to allow myself to heal. I'm going to give myself the freedom to accept full responsibility for my healing. I'm not putting the responsibility of my healing on another person. See, you don't need that other person to be responsible for your healing. Do you know how powerful that is? That you take full ownership and accept full responsibility for your healing. That is so empowering, because what that says is no one can ever hold you back. No one can ever keep you in a place you don't want to be in. And you can take full responsibility to become the best version of yourself and evolve into the thriving, wonderful, loving, courageous, brave, bold, confident person that you are. So I just want to encourage you to accept full responsibility. Say, yes, that situation happened to me. And yes, it wasn't right, but I'm going to love that pain away. I'm going to love myself through the pain. I'm going to love myself through the healing. I'm going to love and accept myself for who I am, mind, body, and spirit, because right now, my soul needs my love and attention. See, you think you need it from another person. You think, the healing part is going to take you hearing that person say sorry or hearing that person apologizing. No, what's really needed is you just sitting there allowing yourself to feel, to be, to nurture yourself, to really be in a space where you're accepting yourself fully. And as you accept yourself fully and you just say, you know what? I'm not this pain. It's only a feeling that's passing by. And I'm going to allow myself to feel it. And I'm going to allow myself to acknowledge it, to be present with it, and to accept the full responsibility of my healing. And so I'm going to do whatever it takes each and every day to heal mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to heal my mind. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to pray. I'm going to speak my affirmations. I'm going to journal and get out some of the feelings that are stuck inside of me that needs to heal. I'm going to go out and go for a walk and get some of this energy moving through my body. I'm going to go ahead and drink me some good water and eat me some good food, and I'm going to rest when I need to rest, and I'm going to allow myself to be in the presence of who I am. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm not going to pressure myself to be somebody else or compare myself to somebody else, but I'm going to be gentle with myself. I'm going to be there acknowledging where I am and who I am and what I am evolving to. And I'm okay where I am right now. I don't have to be anywhere else. I don't have to be a different person. I don't have to look a certain way. I don't have to appease anybody. I can accept me fully right where I am in this moment, in this present moment. And it's okay. And you may feel that frustration. You may feel that pain. You may feel that you was done wrong. It's okay. It's okay to let it out, to let yourself, let it move past you. Don't try to fight against it. Don't try to fake and try to be something you're not, or try to put on a smiley face when you really don't feel like it. Give yourself permission to be. Give yourself permission to heal. Take full responsibility for that. You can do this. Yes, so many of you are continuing to evolve, and I'm super excited about where we're going together and just how we're evolving, we're elevating, we're moving forward. I've been getting y'all messages, your comments, your questions, all of that. Keep going. Do not stop. It's continuing to pour into your life. Receive it, receive it, receive it. Yes. All right. I want to show you guys my shirt today. I don't know if you can see it. My calmness is power. It's my custom tee. Can y'all see my shirt? Yes, for the Rainy Howard collection. So I wanted to share that with you. My calmness is power. It's really a message that came to me a while back because I realized how powerful it is to stay calm, how powerful it is to keep your mind in a calming place. And it's a powerful place. And as you keep your calm, it doesn't matter what people are doing around you, no matter how they are acting, you can continue to remain powerful as you keep calm. So my team is going to type the link in the comment section for you to get this shirt if you want this shirt. My calmness is power. Stay calm. Stay calm. No matter what it is you're dealing with, stay calm. All right, let's get to these questions. I'm going to invite my husband, Patrick, to come and join us. It says, what does it mean when someone irritates you? It seems that they only want to come around when they're bored. This brings me back to a little bit of what we was talking about in the message on how we have to take and accept full responsibility. So if someone is irritating you, that's triggering an emotion that's in you, right? So it's a reason you're irritated. So instead of trying to put the power on the other person and get them to change and figure out what's wrong with them because they're irritating me, ask yourself, What is it in me that's allowing another person to trigger some irritating feeling? Why am I feeling irritated because of another person? Is it something in me that needs to heal that I'm not addressing, that I may be ignoring and I may be putting on another person, or expecting other people to always make me feel good? Because as we begin to be responsible for how we feel and for our own emotions and all of and just how we're doing, we no longer look at the other person as being responsible for that feeling.
Yeah, and I think it goes back into like one of the things we talked about last week about evolving into our best version of ourselves. When you get to recognize, you can recognize the intent of other people, but you can also recognize the thing in you that caused you to feel irritated by that other person. And as you take that journey through, the growth and development, both mind, body, and spirit, you'll realize that some of those things won't bother you as much as they did in the past. I think we was talking about this last time. You see that growth in you, so that those same things don't bother you like they did before. In addition to that, you can kind of recognize ways to avoid that type of interaction with that person, because sometimes we put ourselves in the same situations over and over again, expecting different type of feelings, expecting different results, whatever the basis may be for expecting those things. But just the fact that time has moved doesn't mean that people have changed.
That's right.
So you can't expect things to be different just because it's a different moment.
And the other part of her question, she talks about how it seems like they only want to come around when they're bored. That could be a reason that you're feeling irritated. If you believe that they're coming around when they're bored, maybe it's something in you that's thinking, oh, they don't want to be with me only when they're bored, only when they don't have anything to do. Maybe you feel like they're using you. And maybe there's some things that you see and that aren't right, that you need to address, that you need to understand. If you're surrounding yourself with people who you believe are using you because they're bored, why are you allowing that? So ask yourself, why am I allowing that? Why am I settling for, relationships with people who only come around when it's convenient? And really address that and deal with the healing of that. Do you feel the need that you need validation from another person, or you need them to, appease you in some way?
Next question we got is, how do I heal from years of verbal abuse?
When any type of abuse, there's a healing process. Verbal abuse, you really want to get to the core healing of your beliefs. What was said to you, and what do you believe from what was said to you? Because it's one thing for someone to say something that's abusive. It can, like, somebody can say something to me, send me something online that's really wrong and abusive or toxic, and it'll just roll right off. Like, it wouldn't even faze me, right? But if it cuts you deep, then you need to figure out, what is it in me that believe what was said? Is it something in you that's in agreement with what was said? So you really want to address it, because it really don't matter what other people say or think about you. The real thing that matters is what you think of you. It's what you say and what you think of you. That's what really matters. That's what shapes your life. That's what causes you to make certain decisions on a subconscious level. So you really want to get to the core of, yeah, that was a toxic relationship. Yes, I need to heal. Yes, they was wrong. And yes, I need to stay completely away from anybody that's going to verbally abuse me in any way. But what do I believe that's abusive towards myself? Because that's what impacts you mentally. That's what shapes your thoughts, your actions, the reason why you settle for certain relationships or certain situations in your life. Really begin to do the healing work, the self-love work, the self-confidence work, building up yourself from the inside out. That's the key. And you can do that in a number of ways. You can do that through mirror work. There are different techniques to do that where people look in the mirror and they speak affirmations to themselves until they feel it, until they believe it. Meditation is so important. Journaling, therapy, really doing the work, showing yourself like, oh, I'm proud of myself. Look at what I accomplished. Whether it's you doing the mental work, doing the physical work, healing your body, going and, doing some exercising and eating healthy or whatever, but begin to change the thoughts, the negative thoughts that you think about yourself.
Okay, so the next question. How do I stop feeling sorry for my toxic ex?
A lot of people who stay in toxic relationships, a lot of times they look at the other person and they say, oh, well, he's struggling and he just lost his loved one, or he's battling with drugs or alcohol and he's in the hospital, or he's not feeling good, or whatever, and they have all of these issues. And even though this person is toxic towards them and they're abusive towards them, they constantly feel bad or feel sorry or feel like they feel guilty. They feel guilty for making a healthy decision to protect their peace and guard their heart. They feel guilty for saying no to toxic behavior because the other person is dealing with some things. Understand the reason you feel sorry for your toxic ex. You want to understand that. Why would you allow them to do you this way and you feel bad and feel guilty and still want them around? You need to understand the reason. What's going on with you? What are you believing? What's causing you to make those decisions? Because you got to get to the root. If you don't get to the root, you'll keep making the same decisions over and over and over again and not even realize you're doing it. I'm done with you. It's over. I'm never talking to you again. And then 3 months later, y'all back together, and then things are going good for a while, and then it's a real big blow up again, and then everything is happening, it's all abusive and toxic, and you like, I'm done, and then you back a few months later. So you have to understand that you got to get to the root of your decision making. Feeling guilty is the reason why you feel like you need to be in that person's life, or that person needs you, or you got to fix them, or you got to be there for them, or you got to just deal with what they do to you or whatever.
I say ultimately you sacrificing your own sanity because you're trying to figure out what they got going on, or figure out reasons why they've been doing what they've doing. What they've been doing to you.
Right.
I think at the end of the day, we all have moments of experience, life lessons and life journey. I can say personally, some of my experiences aren't too far off from individuals who don't make the same choices that I make. My job is not to figure out why their mindset is causing them to make the decision to take the journey that they're making. It is my responsibility to take care of my peace, to take care of my own sanity, to take care of my own mind, body, and spirit, as opposed to sacrificing all of those things for the sake of fixing somebody else.
They tell you on the airplane, if something that was to happen in an emergency, the oxygen mask come down, put yours on first. And once yours is on and secure, then you can help the other person or help your children. But don't try to help them first. Help yourself first. So right now you need to focus on helping yourself first and rescuing yourself first. You need to rescue your mind, body, and spirit first. And until you're healthy, whole, healthy as you, trying to help somebody else, it's not happening. You're hurting yourself and you're trying to heal. It's like the sick trying to heal the sick. You got to get whole first. You got to heal yourself first. You got to do what it takes and make it your top priority to do what's best for you, mind, body, and spirit, so that you here to continue to thrive and go on. So important. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I'm telling you, you got to fill yourself up. When is a good time to move on from an ex? It's always a good time to move on from a toxic ex. Now is a good time. Like, the only reason you would prolong it is because it's something there that's causing you to settle. It's when you made up your mind. When you've made up your mind, enough is enough. And some people don't make up their mind until it's just like really, 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 really bad. Some people are willing to deal with traumatic pain and they will hold on and hold on and hold on. And some people lose their life holding on to a toxic relationship. But I always tell people, if you're asking the question, when is the right time? Now, you know it's the right time just for you asking that question. It's not worth it. It's not worth you, because what happens is every decision you make, you put yourself on a path in your life. You have a certain desire for your life, a certain vision that you really want. When you make toxic decisions, you keep yourself in a path, a toxic path that you really don't want. And you really don't want it. And you keep getting over and over again experiences you really don't want. And it's because you keep making decisions that put you on that path that leads to you getting the same results of not wanting what you choose. Why learning to forgive yourself seems to be the hardest part of the process, I think is really because we can be hard on ourselves. That's why I talk about self-love. You know, there's a scripture when Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. Because first you have to love yourself. But we always focus on loving neighbors and everybody else. And we're not taught how to really love ourselves. You must be really mad at yourself for something. And so it's hard for you to forgive yourself. But I want you to understand that some of the things you've done in the past, the decisions you made in the past, that's not who you are right now. I know many of you right here can look back 10 years ago and say, I'm not who I was 10 years ago. So why are you continuing to not forgive yourself for something that you did in the past and it's not who you are? So you being who you are now, knowing that that's not who you are, you can forgive that past action because you're not identifying with it. You know that's not who you are. You know that you are new. You know that you're not where you were. And so you can look and find something in that situation that made you be better. Maybe the fact that when it happened and you felt so bad about it, you decided to never allow yourself to do that or to make that decision again is reason enough to say, look at you making new decisions. You're already looking in the right direction. Don't be so hard on yourself. Love yourself. Forgive yourself, because God has so much more for you, but you're blocking yourself from even receiving more love and joy and forgiveness because you're holding yourself hostage of receiving that forgiveness. And you got to give it to yourself. You just got to.
Yeah, you can't be so caught up on your past experiences that you can't see where you're headed. You know, I think a lot of times people are just so caught up on what decision I could have made, or, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, and maybe I should have did this, or if I would have done that, I could have been at a different place right now. But I think there is no opportunity or moment better than the current moment to say I can change the trajectory of where I'm headed. And I don't have to be held back by my past experiences. That's what your testimony is, just you overcoming those past moments, not to be held back by them, but that you can create a new future for yourself just by saying, you know, I'm not who I was, I'm not who I used to be. So those decisions that I made in the past don't have any impact on where I'm trying to go and what I'm about to do.
We got one more question.
Last question. Do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
No. That's just a yes or no. Huh?
No. I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe that Hollywood created the idea of love at first sight, but I believe love grows gradually, just like everything. Just like you plant a seed and it becomes a tree, it grows. I believe real love grows. I believe in lust at first sight. I believe that you can see someone immediately and lust towards them. And some people believe lust is love. Lust is not love. I believe that you can really feel some strong emotions, some strong attraction, some strong desire. But is it love? Is it real love? Because real love is tested and is tried, and I don't believe that you immediately fall in love with someone as soon as you see them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same way. You know, just seeing somebody and falling in love
Now you
immediately.
can be excited.
That's
Y'all can
something
be both
completely
like
different.
burning in passion like that now yeah, you can be that way. But it takes time to get to know people, to know who they are spiritually and really connect with them, to really understand and know if you're falling in love with that person. I think it definitely takes, it's gradual. It's a gradual process, just like any process. Nature is gradual. You know, when a woman gets pregnant, there's a process. It's 9 months before the baby is born. Like, people don't give love, the process of love is chance. People want to move fast. They want to meet and be like, let's go and let's, you know, spend the rest of our life together. And they just immediately made these, you know, quick decisions when they didn't even give it time to evolve to what it
And
is.
most of the time, love is revealed. It's not something that you know immediately. You can be in a relationship with somebody. You can be getting to know them. You can be attracted to them by the way that they look and all of those things. But the level of love that transitions into an unconditional relationship is something that's revealed over time. Mm-hmm. It's something revealed in you. It's something that
I
you
remember
receive.
when I first realized I loved him. It was a while after we were connecting and friends and hanging out and going out and everything. And it was just like one day it was like it was a revelation that just hit me like, oh, it was just, you know, after a process. But it shouldn't be rushed, and you don't want to rush it. It's good to savor it and to get to know it and to allow it to be. Just be with your experience of love.
Yeah, and another thing too, like all the topics that we talk about, I think it's definitely important to be able to recognize some of the things that you've believed in the past that may not be true about relationships, so that you don't get into a relationship with the mindset that normalizes toxic behavior and toxic relationships. Because if you have that mindset, you can get into a relationship and think like, oh man, it's hard to be a man out here in these streets, so he might be looking and stuff, I gotta deal with it, or whatever the case may be. All these type of things that seem so normalized, like toxic relationships seem like they are bound to happen. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think we got to get away from those toxic beliefs that normalize bad behavior and normalize looking at the outward appearance and just seeing things from just a surface perspective, and getting a little deeper and getting to know people a little deeper, to recognize their intent, to recognize who they really are, and to be able to say, this is the person I really want to be with, you know, and I can really build with, that I can have a great partnership with, as opposed to somebody that look good that I want to get on.
It'll be worth it. If you want long term, if you want something quick, then yeah. Great questions, guys. Go ahead and continue to send us your questions. We enjoy connecting with y'all. We love y'all so much. Yeah, be sure to, if you want to email us your question, you can email it at support@rainyhoward.com. Thanks so much for joining us. Share the video with your friends and loved ones. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love to connect with you guys on YouTube. We love you so much. We see you every Monday and Friday at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, live on Facebook and Instagram. Bye.
Y'all have a blessed day today.
Bless you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments, how will you begin to heal from past emotional pain? Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel and share our messages with all your loved ones. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we look forward to connecting with you in the next show.